Belgium arrived in Seattle carrying renewed confidence after ending the group stage with a commanding 5-1 victory over New Zealand, a result that secured top spot in Group G and revived hopes that the Red Devils' experienced generation still had one more deep World Cup run left in them. Rudi Garcia trusted the same starting 11 that had impressed in the previous match, leaving Romelu Lukaku on the bench while Kevin De Bruyne, Leandro Trossard, Jeremy Doku, and Charles de Ketelaere were expected to unlock Senegal's defense with fluid attacking football. Senegal, meanwhile, entered the round of 32 as one of the tournament's most dangerous underdogs after crushing Iraq 5-0 to qualify as one of the best third-place teams. Coach Pape Thiaw made several tactical adjustments, but once again placed his faith in the explosive front three of Sadio Mane, Ismaïla Sarr, and Iliman Ndiaye, believing their pace could expose Belgium's aging backline. From the opening whistle, the African side showed absolutely no fear, pressing high, winning second balls and forcing Belgium into uncomfortable positions across the pitch. Mane immediately tested Timothy Castagne with aggressive runs down the left, while Sarr constantly threatened the space behind Brandon Mechele and Arthur Theate. Belgium struggled to settle into possession, and every attempt to build patiently from the back was met by relentless pressure from Senegal's midfield trio of Idrissa Gueye, Pape Gueye, and Habib Diarra. Although Belgium managed the first shot on target through Trossard after de Ketelaire's clever layoff, goalkeeper Mori Dia handled comfortably, signaling that Senegal would not be intimidated by their more decorated opponents. As the minutes passed, Senegal grew stronger and stronger. Ndiaye's movement dragged defenders out of shape, Jakobs repeatedly overlapped down the left flank, and Sarr's acceleration terrified Belgium every time the ball was played into space. One breathtaking attack nearly produced the opener when Jakobs delivered a dangerous low cross into the 6-yard box. Courtois managed only a weak parry, leaving Sarr with what appeared to be an open goal. Somehow the Crystal Palace forward struck the post before poking the rebound agonizingly wide from point-blank range, one of the biggest missed chances of the tournament. The miss briefly gave Belgium hope, but Senegal refused to lose momentum. They dominated possession, won nearly every midfield duel, and pinned Garcia's side deep inside their own half. Belgium looked unusually passive, relying almost entirely on De Bruyne's passing range, while Doku and Trossard found almost no space against Senegal's disciplined defensive block. Every statistic reflected Senegal's superiority as they accumulated wave after wave of attacks, while Belgium struggled to register meaningful opportunities. Their pressure finally paid off midway through the first half. Mane isolated his defender before delivering a perfectly weighted cross toward the penalty area, where Sarr brilliantly flicked a header against the far post. Courtois was already beaten and still recovering when the rebound fell kindly for Habib Diarra, who reacted instantly to tap the ball into the empty net and send the Senegal supporters into absolute delirium. The deserved breakthrough rewarded a fearless opening performance that had completely surprised one of Europe's traditional football powers. Belgium attempted to respond immediately, but lacked urgency and imagination. De Bruyne searched tirelessly for passing lanes, while Tielemans tried to dictate the tempo, yet every forward movement was quickly disrupted by Senegal's aggressive pressing and intelligent positioning. At the opposite end, Mane nearly doubled the lead after combining beautifully with teammates before slipping at the crucial moment, allowing Courtois to gather comfortably. Despite Belgium enjoying slightly more possession toward the closing stages of the first half, they created almost nothing of real danger. Diaw remained largely untested. Senegal's central defenders controlled de Ketelaere with authority, and Garcia's men entered halftime trailing 1-0 after producing one of their weakest performances of the tournament. The numbers emphasize the story of the first 45 minutes. Senegal generated nearly 2 expected goals, while Belgium barely created any meaningful attacking threat, leaving Garcia with enormous decisions to make during the interval if his team hoped to keep their World Cup dream alive. Garcia wasted no time making changes, introducing Romelu Lukaku immediately after the break in place of Charles de Ketelaere in an attempt to inject power and presence into Belgium's attack. However, the substitution failed to produce an instant response because Senegal resumed exactly where they had left off. Within minutes, Maine surged to the byline and delivered another dangerous cutback that Diarra should have converted, only for the midfielder to lose his footing at the decisive moment and send the ball harmlessly wide. Belgium escaped that warning, but only briefly. In the 51st minute, Senegal produced another devastating counterattack that perfectly exposed Belgium's vulnerable defensive line. Moussa Niakhaté launched a magnificent diagonal pass from deep inside his own half, finding Ismaïla Sarr racing behind Brandon Mechele. The forward controlled the ball brilliantly with his chest before unleashing a thunderous half-volley beyond the helpless Thibaut Courtois to double Senegal's advantage. It was a goal worthy of the World Cup stage and capped another outstanding display from Sarr, who became only the second African player ever to score 4 goals in a single World Cup edition, matching Roger Milla's legendary achievement from 1990. At 2-0, Belgium appeared completely stunned. Their passing became increasingly rushed, confidence visibly disappeared, and frustration began to creep into every challenge. Garcia responded by making further substitutions, sacrificing Kevin De Bruyne in what many feared could be the final World Cup appearance of the Belgian legend, while Dodi Lukebakio, Nicolas Raskin, and Diego Moreira were all introduced in a desperate attempt to change the rhythm of the contest. Yet Senegal remained in complete control. Idrissa Gueye shielded the back four with remarkable composure. Pathé Ciss dominated aerial duels, and Niakhaté produced one commanding interception after another, as Belgium struggled to create anything meaningful. The Red Devils managed only speculative efforts from Tielemans and Lukebakio, neither of which seriously troubled Mori Diaw, while every Senegal counterattack threatened to finish the match completely. With less than 15 minutes remaining, Belgium's World Cup journey looked all but over. Garcia made one final attacking gamble by sending on Thomas Meunier and pushing virtually every available player forward. Suddenly, the momentum shifted. In the 86th minute, Meunier refused to give up on what looked like a lost cause, recovering possession near the byline before driving a dangerous low ball toward the near post. Lukaku reacted instinctively, meeting the cross with a clever first-time finish that squeezed beyond Diallo and finally gave Belgium a lifeline. The goal transformed the atmosphere inside Lumen Field. Belgian supporters, who had spent most of the evening in silence, erupted with renewed belief, while Senegal suddenly showed signs of nervousness for the first time all night. Barely 3 minutes later, the comeback gathered incredible momentum. Trossard floated a looping cross toward the far post, where Dia misjudged his position, allowing Youri Tielemans to rise highest and nod into an unguarded net. In the space of just 180 breathtaking seconds, Belgium had erased a 2-goal deficit that had seemed impossible to overcome. Senegal, who had dominated for more than 80 minutes, were left stunned as extra time suddenly became reality. The final moments of normal time were frantic, with Luc Bacchio nearly stealing victory and Senegal desperately trying to regain their composure. But neither side could find another breakthrough before the referee brought 90 unforgettable minutes to a close, with the score locked at 2-2. The psychological momentum now belonged entirely to Belgium, while Senegal faced the enormous challenge of recovering from one of the most devastating collapses the tournament had witnessed. Extra time began with Belgium carrying all the momentum, while Senegal desperately attempted to steady themselves after surrendering what had once looked like a comfortable victory. Surprisingly, however, neither side immediately committed to an all-out assault. Belgium controlled possession for long stretches, patiently probing for openings through Trossard, Lukaku, and Luc Bacchio, while Senegal retreated into a compact defensive shape, hoping to survive long enough to force a penalty shootout. Garcia's men repeatedly delivered crosses into the box, knowing Lukaku's physical presence could unsettle the tiring Senegal defenders, but Pathé Ciss and Moussa Niakhaté continued to produce vital clearances under immense pressure. At the other end, Senegal struggled to recreate the attacking fluency that had made them so dangerous during the opening 70 minutes. The energetic substitutions of Nicolas Jackson, El Hadji Malick Diouf, and young Bara Hindié injected fresh legs, yet Belgium's defense finally looked far more organized than it had earlier in the evening. Courtois confidently claimed crosses, Arthur Theate recovered from a painful collision to continue marshalling the backline, and Tielemans increasingly dictated the rhythm from midfield as fatigue spread across both teams. The opening 15 minutes of extra time passed without a goal, raising the possibility that the dramatic contest would ultimately be settled by penalties. Even so, the tension inside the stadium never disappeared, because every attack carried the potential to become the decisive moment. Senegal produced one promising move through Ndiaye before his low effort was comfortably collected by Courtois, while Belgium came agonizingly close when Luc Bacchio's powerful strike crashed against the crossbar after Moreira's dangerous delivery created chaos inside the penalty area. Belgian players immediately appealed for a penalty, believing Lamine Camara had fouled Tielemans during the scramble, but referee Said Martinez waved play on. As Senegal attempted to launch one final counterattack, the video assistant referee instructed Martinez to review the incident on the pitch-side monitor. The stadium held its breath during the lengthy review, as replays showed Camara catching Tielemans before the Belgian midfielder could reach the loose ball. After several tense minutes, Martinez finally pointed to the penalty spot, triggering furious protests from Senegal's players, while thousands of supporters voiced their disbelief from the stands. The delay only increased the pressure surrounding the kick, with tempers flaring and several players requiring intervention from teammates before order could be restored. Eventually, Captain Youri Tielemans stepped forward, carrying the weight of an entire nation. Having already scored the dramatic equalizer in the 89th minute, the Aston Villa midfielder showed extraordinary composure despite the chaos surrounding him. In the 125th minute, he calmly sent goalkeeper Mori Dio the wrong way before placing his penalty perfectly into the top right corner, completing one of the latest winning goals in World Cup history and finishing an astonishing Belgian comeback. There was barely enough time for Senegal to respond. A desperate late free kick from Pape Sarr flew harmlessly over the crossbar before the final whistle confirmed Belgium's unforgettable 3-2 victory after extra time. What had seemed impossible only 40 minutes earlier had become one of the greatest escape acts ever witnessed on football's biggest stage. Senegal departed the tournament heartbroken after producing one of their finest World Cup performances for more than 80 minutes, only to see qualification slip away in the cruelest fashion imaginable. Belgium, meanwhile, survived through resilience, belief, and the experience of veterans who refused to accept elimination. Lukaku's impact from the bench completely transformed the contest. Tielemans delivered the defining performance of his international career with 2 goals, including the historic winner, and Garcia's side advanced to the round of 16 with renewed confidence despite spending most of the night second best. The comeback instantly entered World Cup folklore, serving as another reminder that no lead is ever truly safe on football's grandest stage. Belgium would now carry extraordinary momentum into their next knockout match, while Senegal left Seattle with immense pride but unbearable disappointment after coming within moments of producing one of the biggest upsets of the 2026 FIFA World Cup.